It's time for another of our half dozen cards from the Curvy Celebration card class to go. This is Shannon Fralish with shannonfralish.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. So this card is a Christmas card. It's kind of snowy and cute and pretty, and I love the pattern of the paper and the swash of stars in the night sky. And this set is from the Quite Curvy Variety Bundle, which came with the Quite Curvy stamps and dies, and also the Curvy Christmas. So this is the set we're going to use for this card. You can see the curvy tree line, the curvy stars, and the curvy sentiment here. It also uses the 6x6 DSP that was included in this bundle that is exclusive just till the end of the year 2020. So if you want more information on that bundle, go ahead and look at the bottom into the description here, and I have links and information on all the products that you'll need. Okay, so let's get started with this really pretty, I think it's a clean and simple with a little bit of frou-frou. So maybe it's not clean and simple, but I really like this card. It is an A2 top fold, and it uses this really pretty shaded spruce is the color of green. And the trees in this match or coordinate well with the trees here in our stamped image. So again, this is part of the card class to go. And if you are taking that class, here is the envelope, just like yours in your kit. And this is what you get. So obviously you get the envelope. I'm going to pull out all the goodies and show you what you get. So maybe they're glued in there, just kidding. But there we go, if I open them. All right, so you have the envelope. Here is your card base. As I said, it's an A2 top fold. Here is the pre-die cut sentiment. We're going to stamp Merry Christmas and emboss it in gold embossing powder. So there's your die cut for that already. Here is the gold cord for the bow there. You will provide your the DSP from the pack that you got in your bundle, but this is the paper, and it is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and then I just have a piece of white cardstock that I'm going to use to stamp and die cut on this centerpiece section right here. It will need to be ultimately at the end. It'll need to be 4 inches wide, which corresponds to this back layer that we're using. Okay, and again, the dies for this are actually part of the Quite Curvy bundle. You get the dies in this set with this stamp set, and then the Curvy Christmas though does utilize the same shape. So again, we're going to use this I just love this one. This is my all-time favorite. I love the holes it makes there in along the curve. I think that's really neat. It's kind of kicks it up a notch from just a stitched die, right? So we are going to use, again, this is my piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to go to the machine and I am going to die cut first. Remember that on this die, if you look at the back side of it where the texture part is, the part that has the edge there, that is the cutting edge. If it doesn't have an edge along here, it is not going to cut here. So when you make this, say this is the bottom, you're going to turn this over and make sure that this cut is here at the bottom. You're going to cut that away. For the top, you're going to make sure that the cut edge is at the top and cut that away. Remember, here's the die. After 1 or 2 passes through, the little holes may get the little tiny paper stuck inside the holes. But what I do is I use my Take-A-Pick tool. I literally hold this die over the trash can and just go like this. I just run the brush, roll it over the top, and all the little cut circles fall right off into the garbage can. If one gets stuck, I use the pick side and just poke it through. Just poke the little dot out. nice and clean. All right, so that's my tip there. Okay, so here is our sample. Here is our panel right here, and I want to cut it to about 4 inches. So I'm going to take my panel over to my cutter and give it a cut. I cut off that much. I'll save that. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but there you go. Now I noticed here that I've got a pretty good size curve here, but I've got to do a few things to get it built. Okay, so one of them is I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp Merry Christmas, and again, that is one of the sentiments included in the Curvy Christmas. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that in Versamark ink onto our pre-cut oval. It was included in your kit. It's just a super simple little process here. I'm going to use my stamp positioner because, well, I always do. I rely on that, and I'm going to go ahead and place the oval into the positioner. Just kind of, I'm going to eyeball it. I don't want it to be curved or, wonky. So I'm just going to eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to put that there just for now and go ahead and lay my sentiment. Actually, what I want to remember to do, because I sometimes tend to forget. I'm going to use my embossing buddy and go ahead and chalk that up a little bit. Got a little bit much there. Whew. There's less chance of stray embossing powder and static electricity helping that embossing powder stick there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay this down here. Get it as straight as possible, and perhaps I won't be able to use that. Oh, I can use the magnet. All right, I'm going to shut the door, pick up the stamp, and then use Versamark ink, and it's used for this kind of heat embossing. Okay, so I'm going to ink up my stamp, my Merry Christmas sentiment. Okay, and then go ahead, shut the door, and stamp the sentiment onto the oval piece, the stitched oval. Okay, there we go. Hey, that was perfect. And you can see it's a clear ink. So I'm going to take that oval. I'm going to use my tweezers, and I am going to, this is my embossing powder, and you've seen me use this before. I tend to dump it into one of these little plastic storage containers so that it's just, for me, it's easier. And that way I don't have to do the two-step process of then dumping it back in off paper. So there you go. There's the embossing powder on the ink, and I have to say it looks pretty good. I don't really see any stray powder, and I'm just going to go heat this and melt the embossing powder using my heat tool. And there you go. You've got the pretty shiny little gold embossed sentiment there. Okay, so we've got that ready to go. Here's our base. We've got that. We'll tie the ribbon later. So it looks like what we need to maybe start on right now is this curvy section here that is going to be our focal point. So now basically I'm going to have some stamping to do. Again, I'm going to use my stamp positioner. How come I can have an entire craft room and everything I own is right in the center, huh? Okay, so that's all right. I'm going to be using my Memento Tuxedo Black ink for the stamping, and I simply have a chamois to wipe off stamps. So I'm going to clean off my Merry Christmas sentiment and put it back into my stamp set and go ahead and get out. I guess let's start at the top, right? We'll start at the top and work our way down. And that's crinkly. So I will get the, I want to call them shooting stars. Aurora Borealis, I'm not sure. So I'm going to turn my stamp positioner actually this direction so that I can have more of a horizontal. And let's see. I am going to, again, we're a little bit on the fly. I have the general idea of our sample card here. Well, let's see how it turns out. This shape is different. That's okay. I'm going to put my magnets here, and I am going to, you see how the curves are just really, it's made for the curves of the die. So it looks like I can, I want more stars. I'm going to move my stamp along in order to get the best amount of stars, or however you want to put it, on my panel here. I'm going to move it over just a smidge so I have a little bit more space to work with. I'm going to move that over there. Okay, another magnet, and then memento, tuxedo blue. Oh, well, I guess I need to shut the door, grab my stamp, lift it up. There we go. And then go ahead and ink it up. I know that I don't need, to ink up over here because it's off the charts. So let's go ahead, ink this up here. I'm sure I've gotten a little bit more than I need, but yeah, that's okay. It can wipe off. So I'm going to put the shooting stars into the night sky. And that looks real nice. Okay, simply chamois, wipe off the stamp. I am going to just gently lift this up. It doesn't matter if it moves. I can put it back down. There we go. Okay, so again, let's exchange our stamp here for what's next. I think I'm going to go for the, we've got the Starry Sky here already on. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom and get out the sentiment. That's going to be the next thing I stamp. Oh, I've got the wrong thing. Sorry about that. So I'm going to put my Starry Sky back and get out the sentiment that says, may your days be merry and bright. I love clear stamps. I love rubbers. I love all stamps. But they each have their own cool qualities. So here is the may your days be merry and bright. And I'm just going to move these magnets up. Sorry, I'm probably out of your view. There we go. I just moved the magnets up now because I'm going to be working down here. And I want to fidget with this a little bit because you see how it's got only a little bit of a curve. We can manipulate our sentiments or our any of our long stamps to fit what we need. So I'm going to go ahead. This is how I'm going to do how I want to manipulate mine. I'm going to actually kind of move it down like that. Now I can't do it holding it in my hands, but what I'll do is I know that I want the May to start there. That's okay. I'm going to push that down. So basically, I'm just going to play with it. I'm going to grab it, and I know that I want the May to kind of be curved down a little. This is the beauty of a stamp possession, people. Okay, there you go. You got that there. I like it there. And now I need the be merry to kind of curve down a little bit more. Just see, and I'm only working on the words that I see right now, right? Okay, so I'm there, and I think, what do you think? I think my bright might be just a teensy bit too low. Yeah, maybe my May needs to go just a little bit. What do you think? I think it will look nice. Okay, so I'm going to ink it up with more memento, tuxedo black. Get some of these tools out of the way here. I'm going to ink the sentiment with tuxedo black. And then go ahead and press it down here. And look, I like it. I think it turned out pretty good. I can manipulate it. You can manipulate it to fit whatever curve you have. I love that. I have to say I was a little concerned. I thought, uh-oh, I've made the curve of my paper too weird But hey, I like it. I think it turned out good. Okay, so we've got our sentiment down. Now, what comes next will be the tree line. Okay, so I'm going to swap out the sentiment for the tree line. I love these trees. These are so cute. The kind of primitive, rustic looking trees. Love it. Okay, so I want this to be just above, a little above, something like, there we go. I want the tree line to just be a little bit above the sentiment. I'm going to do the same thing I did with my sentiment. Manipulate them. So I need this to come, these trees to sort of curve down a little bit more than they were. There you go. Now I have a little concern. I think that the tree here is going to be too close to the D, so I'm going to move it up just a little. Remember, I'm just eyeballing as I go along. Now this needs to be moved up as well. That looks good. And I just want this little bit to be curved down a little along the word bright. So I'm just gonna see how that goes. Oh yeah, I like that. Let me get it back. Just so. Sorry for the fidgeting. Yeah. I like that. Okay, so just easy peasy, ink it up. I've got myself quite a little slope here now, don't I? But I love it. There we go. There is my front panel. I think it's so cute. Okay, quick. I'm going to get that ink off and get the ink off of here. And we'll move on and finish putting our really cute snowy Christmas scene together. All right, let me get that out of the way. Okay, so now we have our panel. And again, here's our sample. And what I want to do is I'm going to color the tree tree trunks in soft suede. I'm going to use I'm going to actually, I know that the green here is shaded spruce, but I'm going to go a little bit lighter because I want to still be able to see the outline of the tree. So I'm going to use just jade. And then up here in the starry sky, I am going to use two colors. I'm going to use a little bit of Mango Melody, which is a little bolder, and then go ahead and fill the rest in with the Daffodil Delight. Okay, so let me get my colors. So I've got light soft suede for the trunks, the just jade, I haven't decided which is light or dark yet for the trees themselves, and then Daffodil Delight and Mango Melody for the shooting stars. Okay, so let me get started using the fine tip, and really again, it's so small, the drawing is small, I just tap, tap, tap. And I think it looks gorgeous. All right, so now it's really time to just go ahead and assemble our card. So we've got our base, and here is the tree DSP. So I am just going to lay that straight onto the card front. This, by the way, that's the other side of that. Isn't that cute? That's totally not even Christmas. If you wanted to go ahead and put flowers, it looks like you could do color die cut flowers all along here. It looks like a trellis, a garden trellis. What do you think? I love coordination and being able to use my products all year long. So right now, we're using it for a winter or holiday scene, Christmas. Put that on here. We're just eyeballing to sort of get some even space on 3 sides, 4 sides. There we go. Now we have our panel, but I want to go ahead and tie our bow onto the card base first before I pop up the panel here. So here's the cord, and you get plenty of cord. So I'm going to do a couple things. I want to get this hooked underneath there, and then I'm going to lay my panel here. I'm going to see where, I'm going to eyeball it. Where do I want it to be? Like about there. So I am going to opt to have my bow right here, and I want the tails to kind of hang down into the shooting stars there. So I think I will just go ahead. When I'm done with the whole card, I'm going to put a little glue dot on the back side of this knot so that it holds my bow just like that. Okay, so for now, that's good. I'm going to pop up this panel on top of there. So I've got my Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, so that's foamed up. Get ready to pop this baby here. All right, you can always move that around. Let's see here. Just line this edge up over here. That edge lines up over there. Position the bow. There we go. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my glue dot now. I'm going to grab a dot. I'm just going to kind of roll it around now and simply put it on the back side of my knot. And there we go. And I'm going to get more of my ribbon scissors. Now I do want it to kind of flow, so I may cut this. This may still be a little long, but it gets this excess out of the way so I can get a better view of the card. Okay, so here we go. We've got that, and now we just need to pop up the sentiment. So that's pretty easy, right? This is a gorgeous card, and it's really pretty simple to make. And we got to use lots of techniques on it. We did some heat embossing, some coloring, awesome die cutting with those curvy dies, stamping. This is an all-around great card. All right, here's my, there we go. All right, so what do you think? We've got the sentiment there, may your days be merry and bright there. And on the inside, you can add whatever sentiment you like, or it's plenty of space. You could even attach a gift card and put a simple note. But that's, may your days be merry and bright.